Good morning, everybody. Now we are going to start our today's conference. Our today's guest is Engineer Bhaskar Goswami. I'm adding the engineer because I like that to be added. And Bhaskar is founder of BODHI plus daana, a radical transformation mentor. Bhaskar Goswami is a visionary mentor and a speaker who is passionate about empowering people to thrive in work and life. He is the founder of BODHI, a multiple award-winning company that offers genuine well-being solutions to individuals and organizations. He is also the founder of daana, a CBC award-winning non-profit organization that offers contribution-based wellness activities around the world. Bhaskar has a rich and diverse background in the yogic tradition. He was born in Assam, India, into the lineage of Vasishtha, one of the founding fathers of yoga. He has been trained by some of the most respected masters of transformative practices in India, Quebec, and Canada. He is a certified master coach from the Accelerated Evolution Academy and a personal mentor to several business leaders and their teams. He has worked with the numerous elite organizations around the world. Bhaskar has guided over 50 retreats and has spoken in prestigious organizations and events such as COP22, UN Global Climate Change Summit, Morocco. He has published 2 international albums. And creativity, we can create a thriving work environment that aligns with our values and purpose. Learn more about to learn more about Bhaskar, you have the website, and if you will like, I will provide you. And that's it from my side. And I will like to say to some of you who are with us since long, it is Bhaskar's second visit as a guest speaker to our institution. So welcome, Bhaskar. Now stage is yours.
Thank you, Miranda. Thank you so much. This is a bit grand. I didn't expect the podium, but for the benefit of the people who are here through the virtual ways, there we go. Let me just find a way to connect. I'll just walk away here. Give me a moment. Let me just get settled. So I'm with you and with the people on the screen. Can you all see me all right there on the virtual world? Danielle, you have your hand up? I can't hear you. Maybe you can put something on chat. Danielle, is there something you wish to express? You can hear me and see me okay? Okay, good. So we'll begin. All right, we'll begin by first just gather around people, bring a chair and come as close as you feel comfortable. Not too close that is awkward, not too far that's awkward, just right. All right, we're gonna take a few grounding breaths. So here I'll invite you to inhale deeply and rapidly through your nose and exhale slowly and completely through your mouth. We'll do this for about a minute, okay? I'll stand over here so you can see me. So let's start together and then go at your own speed and range. Exhale completely. Inhale rapidly from the nose and again and again. and exhale slowly from the mouth. And watch the breath leaving your body all the way down, all the way up, and actively squeeze out the stay at the bottom. Again, inhale rapidly, nose, and again, and exhale slowly, steadily, calmly, consciously, completely, all the way down, all the way out, and watch the last few drops of air being squeezed out of the body, and continue with your own speed and rate. Going back. Your natural breath. How do you feel? That was just a minute. How it immediately brings you into a calm, alert state. The answer is right under our nose. So in a very brief time I have with you, I'll be sharing with you what I call the principles of optimum health, or the principles of skillful living. This has been known in the yoga world for a very, very long time. The 5 principles of optimum health. That is to say, barring any accidents or crisis, we do these 5 things regularly, consistently, in a committed way, you're guaranteed optimum health. Okay? And the 5 things we'll very briefly cover together are breathing, relaxation, exercise, nutrition, and meditation. The 5 principles. Okay? I literally give like over 5 weeks workshop on each of these. So there's a lot of content. I cannot hope to do everything justice, but I hope to share with you some key insights, and my intention is that it may benefit you in the long term. So in that spirit, to quote Bruce Lee, absorb whatever you find to be useful, discard what's not useful, and add in what's your own specifically, and that's the path to mastery. So whatever I'm saying is a description, not a prescription. Take what's useful, and this word absorb is important. We're not just intellectually understanding, curious, inspiration, attainment. We want to absorb it, which means it becomes a part of you. That's when it really matters. So whatever you find useful, make it a part of you. Whatever doesn't make sense, let it go. And of course, bring in your own specialty, because we're all essentially masters in our own right. We all have so much experience to lean on. So having said that, we'll start with the very first principle, which is the principle of breath. I'm right now in the center of conscious development. Honored to be here and speaking on behalf of the center. So I will speak from the perspective of consciousness, because that's ultimately why we're here. Now, when it comes to energy or breathing, there's a whole field of breath work in yoga called pranayama. Prana is vitality, energy. Yama is the mastery of your vitality, which is the regulation and expansion of your vitality. To put it another way, I'm sure we all have a smartphone, right? A smartphone. This is literally a smartphone, very, very smart, highly intelligent, very smart phone. But without vitality, without energy, it's not a very smart phone. It's pretty useless. Without the vitality, the phone is a paperweight or a doorstop. It's pretty useless, right? It's the energy that gives it its potential and its capacities. Right? Similar with our body, it's the vitality that gives us our capacity. I'm going to use a metaphor for cell phone, a smartphone. What do you want in your smartphone? You want the smartphone to have a big battery, a capacitor. You want this phone to be able to charge up really fast. You want that phone to be able to hold charge for a very long time. That's a good phone, right? Now, if I have my cell phone in full brightness, if I have all the apps on, most of them are just draining the battery in the background, serving no meaningful purpose, the cell phone will be close to dead by 3 p.m. If I have my cell phone on battery saver mode, I, I minimize the apps I'm using, only use the most essential apps. This phone can last me like 3 days. You see? The same thing with the physiological energy in our body. We want our body to be able to store energy, to capture energy, store it, and not dissipate it so fast. So let's look at the ways how we dissipate our vitality, our energy. The first way we dissipate our energy is through action. There are three kinds of action: physical action, verbal action, and mental action. Physical action is obvious. For me to move my hand, I need energy. The chemical energy I consumed this morning as breakfast is being turned to kinetic energy, right? I'm an energy transducer. So physical action requires energy, very obvious. Verbal action, for me to speak right now, also requires energy. I'm using energy to speak right now. And also mental action requires energy. For me to think, it takes energy. For example, some people, they go to work at whatever 8, 9 a.m. They're just sitting there all day, not doing anything. And they come back completely tired. Why? Mental activity tires them. Right? The mind consumes battery power. The second way we dissipate our vitality is through holding tension in our body. By very nature, by definition, holding tension, the holding requires energy, right? The action of holding requires energy. So if there's any tension in your body right now, in the jaw, in the neck, in the shoulder, in the spine, in the hip, and so on, this holding of tension is dissipating your battery, serving no meaningful purpose. They're like leaky taps all through your body, just wasting your battery power. Like apps that are on, serving no meaningful purpose. Does that make sense? The third way we dissipate our vitality is through our sense gates. For my eyes to gather lights, colors, shapes, it requires energy. For my ears to gather sound, tongue to gather taste, nose, scent, etc. For my sense gates to gather data, it requires energy. Right? To gather, process data, it requires energy. And the fourth way we dissipate our vitality, our energy, our physiological energy, is through the emotions we entertain. Motion. You can see that energy in motion is energy moving through your body. Every time you entertain emotion, it's dissipating a battery power. For example, the great yoga master Swami Sivananda said, one bout of rage is equivalent to an entire day of physical labor. When somebody gets onto full-on blind rage, so much energy is consumed for that. Not to mention all the energy required to bring all the organs, cells, tissues back to homeostasis. This is when people get really, really angry, 2, 3, 5 minutes, then they need to take a nap because they've worn the battery out so fast. Right? So turbulent emotions consume a lot of battery power. Are the 4 ways clear? Action, tension, gathering data, and also turbulent emotions. All right. So now we go into the art of pranayama, which is the mastery and the regulation and expansion for vitality. So why regulation? Just like the cell phone, if the energy is like high and low, peaks and throws, all the components will die and burn out in no time. Same with our energy. We want the energy to be smooth, calm, steady throughout the day and not wear out our internal components by turbulent energy. So we want to regulate and expand our vitality. How do we do that? The first thing, what we did this morning, those who were here this morning, the asana practice, by its very nature, all the moving, bending, twisting, turning, what we're doing is we're opening up the energy meridians. The energy is flowing much more easily to your cells, the tissues, and organs. And you're moving all the knots and tension in the body, no longer wasting your battery power. Which is why doing asana practice in the morning is so vital. Because it closes out all the leaky taps and you have much more vitality throughout the day. Does that make sense? This is why the physical stretching practice in the morning, a comprehensive practice I did this morning, is so vital. You'll find you have much more energy throughout the day. So that's one way. Another way It's something else we practiced this morning as well, those who were here. We did something called pratyahara, which means withdrawal of the senses. Instead of using our senses to gather data outside, we close all the sense gates. Like a turtle withdrawing all the limbs, we withdrew all the sense gates and dropped our awareness inside the body. Pratyahara, introspection. This is a way of rejuvenating energy as opposed to dissipating energy. It's a very powerful practice. Something else, another way to boost your vitality. It's a very simple principle that prana is in all the natural elements. Earth, water, fire, air, space, right? So when you plant a seed in fresh earth, give it plenty of pure water, it gets plenty of natural sunlight, plenty of fresh air, and plenty of space to grow, chances are very high that what grows from that plant has a lot of vitality, prana, vitality, right? So having food that are prana filled actually gives you more energy than you need to break that food down. So having alive food gives you a lot of prana from a very pranic perspective. The more alive the food is, especially like sprouted seeds and mung beans and chickpeas and so on, the is literally growing. There's a lot of pranic content. And also, as I mentioned, there's prana in the air around us. It's a very simple principle. The deeper you breathe, the fresher the air, the more the prana. So many people spend time in the offices. They look very grand, these glass towers, but there are no doors or there are hardly any doors and there are no windows that really open. So the air is circulated. Although you get the oxygen, nitrogen, all that kind of stuff, the pranic content, the vitality is used up, dissipated by the people in the building. You're not getting any prana. That's no wonder people feel tired by 3 p.m. in the office. So you need to go outside, ideally in a place where there's mature trees, and then take a few deep breaths. You'll find, do this experiment, you'll find if you're hungry, your hunger dissipates, your senses become more clearer and brighter. It's just you recharge your battery. And research has shown at the NIH, National Institute of Health, that just 15 minutes of deep breathing can bring down your blood pressure, systolic, diastolic, down by 15 to 20 points in about 2 months. How amazing is that? Just by breathing deeply, you can bring your blood pressure down. And of course, high blood pressure is a precursor to all kinds of liver failure, kidney, heart damage, and so on and so forth. The answer is right under your nose. Deeper the breath, fresher the air, more the vitality. And something else that I mentioned before in the asana practice is let your breath guide the practice. So as is the body, as is the mind, so is the breath. How do I mean that? If I was to lift a heavy object, I'll go like this. Tight body, tight breath. If I run, moving body, and the breath is mimicking my body. So the breath is mimicking the body. Now, if my mind is turbulent for some reason, say I get angry or anxious, turbulent mind, my breath will also become shaky, shallow, erratic. My breath is mimicking my mind. The breath is constantly mimicking the state of our body and our mind. And the reverse is also true. The breath is a mirror to your body and your mind. Just by observing your breath, you know exactly and diplomatically how your body and mind are doing. The breath is shaky, you're not doing so well. And conversely, you master your breath, you actually master how you're perceiving reality. That's how powerful breath mastery is. Smooth and steady breath. This is skillful. I can go on like this. I'm speaking right now about physiological energy, the energy that you want to capture, retain, and store. We're in the conscious development center here. So I'll let you into a little hack. There's another form of energy as well. It's called free energy. Energy that's everywhere. We are literally energy transmitters. The practice we did this morning, energy going up, going down, you can actually tap into energy that is not based purely on your physical stored energy, or there's free energy that's everywhere. I'll share with you the hidden secret on how to tap into the energy source that is always available to us. There is no, you don't need to accumulate it. It's much more about attuning and letting the energy work through you. When you work in that way, you actually feel energized with activity. So that is the ultimate life hack, tapping into free energy, which is different to physiological energy. Physiological energy requires capturing, storing, and minimizing and so on, what I just talked about. Free energy is just tapping into the vitality that's there everywhere in the field of energy that we are in right now. I'll speak about more about that later. All right, so I only have about 10 minutes or so for every theme, so I'm going to move on. That's a few words around prana. Now let's talk around breathing and why it matters. Let's talk now about relaxation. We all like to relax, no doubt. Relaxation feels good. But some people, they come back from work, they slip in their sofa, pour their favorite drink, watch their favorite show. This is one form of relaxation. That's kind of relaxation because the battery's dead. there's no juice in the battery, so slack, gone, right? That's not the kind of relaxation yoga points to. Yoga points to a condition where you remain relaxed no matter what. Remaining relaxed even under duress. Now that's something else entirely. So one way to understand it is a very simple equation. Relaxation equals 1 divided by stress, which means more the stress, the less relaxed you are, less stress, more relaxed you are. Very simple equation. So a 101 guide as to why we get stressed, to understand how not to get stressed. 101 way is that when something happens, like say for your ancestors are walking in a forest or a jungle or something like this, and they're getting attacked by this ferocious creature, or woolly mammoth, or a saber-toothed tiger, whatever it was, big fangs, scary eyes, and bad breath. And then you got this thing, right? And now because your ancestors were able to either fight it or freeze and ignore it or run away from it, you're alive today. Wonderful. If they could not do that, you'd be dead, or you would not be alive, right? They'd be dead. Right? So it's a wonderful survival tool. It got your ancestors out of trouble. Now, the ancestor was then able to go into a quiet place, into a cave or a dwelling or behind a tree or something, and they were able to regulate and revitalize to prepare themselves for the next attack. And that's called the relaxation response. Because they could do that, they were able to get ready for the next one, right? They're able to recuperate their energy. Relaxation response. So these are two things that we have in our body: the stress response and relaxation response. This was shown by Dr. Herbert Benson back in the 70s. In modern day right now, we no longer have woolly mammoths and tigers and lions. Most of us don't have these things attacking us. I'd say most of us don't have that. Instead, we have ambient stressors. Ambient stressors are things that are constantly stressing us out. You hear that sound? Even on Zoom, you hear that sound? Humming, buzzing sound? There's always some humming, buzzing sound. It's always something like that going on, right? The subconscious mind is processing that information. So when you go into nature, you find more relaxed because you're no longer processing information. A lot of these little things, sounds and building this little electricity sounds happening everywhere. Of course, you have stressors in terms of traffic jams. If you're still working in a high-tense environment, you get pressures and deadlines and office politics. All kind of relationship jams, miscommunications. On this note, the famous author Mark Twain, he once said, "I've been through a lot of terrible things in my life. Some of them have actually happened. Most of them didn't even happen." So we create and conjure up all these fantasies in the sky that don't even happen. And these are causing a background undercurrent of stress in our lives. Constantly, it's like putting a car in the garage but keeping the engine on. It's revved up, doing nothing at all. Right? So the whole art and science of this practice is to make the relaxation response your default set. And then turn on the action when you need to and turn it off again. To have mastery over that tap of your vitality. So this is the key of the relaxation of what we call the yogic version of relaxation. Is when the vitality is needed, you turn the tap on. When it's not needed, you turn it off. You have full mastery over that tap. So making relaxation the default setting is one of the key aspects of yoga practice. And how do you do that? Of course, the physical movements, bending, twisting, stretching, you move tension to the body, you're more relaxed, that's obvious. Also, there's a practice called Shavasana. You might have heard of Shavasana. It's our the full body scan or auto-suggestion. So when you lie down and you, for example, those who can't see me, I just picked up a cup, right? What happened for me to pick up the cup? The intention was sent, the various muscles, energy was sent to the nerve channels, contracted, expanded the muscles, accordingly, lift up the cup. This is called meaningful action. Intention, energy, information, pick up the cup. Right? Meaningful relaxation works the exact same way. You give the intention with your mind, the different parts of the body to relax, the signal goes, and the body relaxes. So you can create your own deep relaxation by just simply sending your attention and intention to the various parts of the body. Attention, awareness of the part of the body, intention, you ask it to relax and relax. The greater the attention, the greater the intention, the deeper the relaxation. So I'd like to gift you, I'll share this with Meera. I'd like to share with you a 10-minute Shavasana practice that I've put together. So you can have that shared with friends and family members if you wish to. It's a very simple thing. So it's my voice guiding to a full body scan relaxation. So you can use that to begin with. That's a very powerful way to relax the body completely. Right? So that's a very powerful tool. The third powerful tool is, of course, the breathing that we do. You know, what we just did right now. Just like for 1 minute, you how relaxed you felt. That's a breathing technique that is known, scientifically proven, really resets your vagus nerve and bring your body back to homeostasis. Just very rapid in breath. Is that look familiar at all? Remember when babies throw tantrums, you know, whatever reason they don't need, they have a need, and then you console the baby, and the baby goes, the baby does things like that. It's the same thing, really. So we are born knowing these things, right? We're just doing it more consciously now. So that breathing technique is extremely effective to quickly come back to a more regulated state of homeostasis. And the fourth very important technique, I'll cover in depth later on, is meditation. Meditation is a very, very powerful technique because we did the meditation together as a group in the end. And what we're doing in the meditation is cultivating the ability to be the consciousness behind the content of your objective and subjective reality. So if you notice, when you're just sitting in the awareness behind it, the awareness is completely relaxed. When you're in that state experience is deep relaxation. This is called the Buddha in the marketplace. There's a lot of busyness, a lot of content, but your experience is completely relaxed. Or the eye of the storm, the center of the wheel. Your state experience is completely centered. You're in the busyness without feeling any busyness. Because you're rested in the awareness behind the action. In the ancient text, the Gita, it says, one who sees action in inaction and inaction in action is wise indeed. Concept paradox. So if you feel into that, when you can be in action during action, and the opposite, sitting in meditation feels like you're doing nothing, but there's so much action happening there. The Buddha, for example, spent his life sitting under a tree. It looked like he's doing nothing. So we're still talking about it to this day. He did a lot, right? So there's a lot of potency in understanding this very powerful insight. So this is really about creating a condition when your body is in a relaxed, alert state. And that's when you're at your highest level of presence as well. I'm going to go more into this very soon. I talk about the mind. So everything to do with the mind. I'll stop about relaxation right now. I'll move into this part about exercise. Okay, so some insights around exercise. It's a very simple concept that came to me. It's a concept that exists already. I've just embellished it a little bit. It's the concept of the circle of comfort. Okay, so imagine there's a circle, right? And inside that circle is everything that is known, that's familiar, that's comfortable. And outside that circle is the unknown, unfamiliar, uncomfortable. Simple idea, right? Okay. There's a circle of known comfort. Now, the center of that circle is the point of maximum comfort. You know everything, you're completely comfortable. This is you on your favorite chair, with your favorite snack, watching your favorite show, nobody's bothering you. That's the sweet spot, right? Ultimate comfort. Moving away from the center of the circle requires more and more effort until you hit the circumference of the circle, the boundary of your comfort zone. Then you get to the point which is unknown, unfamiliar. So we have built a society that holds comfort as a very high achievement. Like the pinnacle of achievement is comfort. You work hard, you get a good degree, you get a good job, you get a good thing, a big car, the big house, the big sofa, the big thing. Why? So you can be very comfortable. Like comfortable is the highest achievement. And our addiction with comfort has actually made our circle of comfort smaller and smaller and smaller. The very simple law of nature, use it or lose it. It's very simple. I have a 6-year-old at home, so flexible, so she's so incredibly flexible. We're all born that way, right? But if you don't use it, you lose it. So you get trapped in your own comfort, which is what I call the comfort trap. You get stuck in being too comfortable until even the favorite sofa, favorite snack becomes uncomfortable, trapped in your body. I work with so many people, high achievers, industrialists, entrepreneurs, executives, who've done incredible things in their life, but they're stuck in their body because they will not move their body. So now they're spending all their time and money and pain and getting all these classes and putting out their pain. Use it or lose it, right? So we want to change the paradigm here. What if comfort is not in the center of the circle? What if comfort is making the circle so big that no matter what is happening, you're all comfortable? The circle is so big, you could be in a mud hut in Calcutta, sitting on the floor, you're comfortable. You're climbing the Alps, you're comfortable. In the presidential suite, you're comfortable. Your body is not a botheration for you anymore. No matter what's happening, you're comfortable. I'm searching for my daughter under the bed, I'm comfortable. I'm climbing a tree with her, I'm comfortable. You have to cultivate a condition where the body is always comfortable. So what we want to do is slowly make that circle of comfort bigger and bigger and bigger, very slowly. What are we doing in asana practice? Essentially, we're moving the body in every conceivable way. You can imagine it, there's a yoga posture for it. So what we're doing is when you're making a circle bigger and bigger and bigger. No matter what's happening, your body can handle it. Now, the 4 ways that you make that circle bigger, the 4 key principles: innocence, curiosity, patience, persistence. That's the recipe of how you make the circle bigger. Innocence means be innocent of any expectations. Be innocent of comparing yourself to somebody else. Treat every moment as a fresh, brand new experience, like a brand new day. Innocence. Curiosity. Oh, body is stuck. Why is it stuck over here? Where is the point of maximum sensation? Be curious, like a scientist or investigator or a good doctor. Why is the body stuck over here? Let me find out. Oh, okay, there's scientists there. Curiosity is very helpful. Patience. It took you a long time to get here. It's going to take a little time to get out of it. You know? Patience is so important. Patience. Oh, I don't like it. You stop. It doesn't work. Patience. And the 4th one, persistence. Persistence is a committed intention to keep coming back, keep coming back. I'm a living example of this. I wasn't born flexible. I was the guy with my knees next to my ears, trying to sit cross-legged. I saw my yoga teacher in Boulder School and like, not in this lifetime. Patience, persistence, innocence, curiosity, the body opens and opens and opens. So that's how you make the circle bigger. You come to the boundary of your comfort zone. Innocence. Oh, what's happening? Curiosity. Oh, look, there's darkness here. Patience. Stay with it. Persistence. Keep coming back, and your body opens up. Your body can move in any direction without being a hindrance to you. Why? It's not about being a super flexible person and you want to maybe you want to be Cirque du Soleil or something. I don't. It's not about you can't take a super flexible body with you. You just don't want your body to be an obstacle for you so that you can live the life you really want. Not everybody has to be a contortionist or a gymnast or that's not the intention here. The intention here is that your body is an ally and not a hindrance so you can live the life you really want. So what kind of body you need for that? I also say, when it comes to the body, there are the 5 S's of fitness. When we talk about fitness, there are 5 S's of fitness. The first S is strength, functional capacity. I want to carry my daughter, carry my groceries, strength. Next one is speed. Heaven forbid, there's an earthquake or something, I want to get out the door fast. Speed, functional speed. Then we need stamina. Stamina is the ability to keep doing it for a long duration. Resilience. So stamina is important to be active for a long time, cardiovascular capacity. The next one is skill, hand-eye coordination, balance, things like this, right? This is like a surfer on a wave, requires a lot of skill. So skill is an important thing, dexterity and skill, and balance, this sort of thing. Fine motor neuron control. And the fifth one is suppleness, flexibility, so that you can move in any direction. When you look at the peak athletes in society, the Novak Djokovic, the Cristiano Ronaldo, they have all the 5. They're strong, they're fast, they have stamina, they have high skill, and they have suppleness. So you can ask yourself, just do a quick audit. What a life I really want to live. How am I doing in all 5? Yeah, I have the strength I need. I have the stamina I need. I have to do some more. So you can do a little audit for yourself and just do the activity that you enjoy. It helps you up level whatever you want to up level. It's a very simple way. For example, dancing and pickleball and gardening. There's so many activities that develop your body in different ways, right? So I'll land there. I can go on about the body for a very long time, as you can guess. But I'll stop there because of time issue. Now we're moving on to the 4th principle. Sure, I'm happy to. So the 5 S's of physical fitness: strength, speed, stamina, skill, suppleness. So now let's look at nutrition. Again, the nutrition workshop is probably the most popular one that I gave it to. It's something we care deeply about. It's something that it's so universal. We're all eating, so it's something that matters to everybody so much. I've already shared with you the principle of daana. The more alive the food is, the more vitality it has. That's one of the important aspects to take on when you eat. The principle I want to share with you today is not so much the what to eat, but much rather the how to eat. There's a famous actor, director, comedian called Woody Allen. You heard about him? Woody Allen? So back in the 70s or so, he was in an interview, and he very casually told the reporter, success is 80% just showing up. Success is 80% just showing up. He hit upon some kind of a truth there accidentally, and that kind of stuck around. Success is 80% just showing up. It's so true for nutrition as well. Success is 80% just showing up. 20% nutrition, diet, and other something, but 80% of it is just tuning into your own inherent body's wisdom, your body knows. So when we talk about enjoying our food, how many of you guys enjoy your food? There you go, awesome. Don't be I'm not enjoying your food. So this is not you, of course, but there are some people you may know who they have the house to themselves, no one can bother them. They cook their favorite snack, cookies, chips, cakes, whatever it might be, something like this. And then they turn on the show, the favorite show. Barely 5 minutes of the show is on by, and the bag is empty. Look, you're gone. And hey, the person feels bloated. What happened? The bag is empty, I feel bloated, and the movie's barely even begun. Popcorn is gone, the chips are gone. What happened? Right? This is not so much feeding your enjoyment, that's much more about feeding a frenzy. So this is a feeding a distracted high that you're on. But there's no actual enjoyment of the food. So a lot of us are consuming food in a very distracted way. So very often the food has to scream and shout in your mouth just to get your attention. So much sugar, so much salt. Hey, look at me, listen to me. Oh yeah, fine. Yeah, just try that. So another accident here. When you find, not you, but when you find somebody else else, caught in a frenzy, with a very simple acronym called STOP, S-T-O-P. Stop, S-T-O-P. The S stands for slow. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Just notice the textures, the taste rolling out in your mouth. S is slow down. The T is take a breath. I'll tell you why that matters so much later. O is observe. What's happening right now? Observe, hey, I'm not going anywhere, food's not going anywhere. Relax. Observe the taste in your mouth. And P is proceed. Slow down, take a breath, observe, proceed. When you come back to truly enjoying your food and not eating distracted with it. And you might discover that maybe just a one cookie or maybe two is good enough because the enjoyment is there all along. It was just waiting for you to show up. And sometimes you even discover, I'm not really enjoying this. This food is shouting in my mouth. I don't like to shout it out. And then you also start to notice that things that might have appeared bland actually have a lot of nuanced character. Like celery, it will be salty, it will be crunchy. So this is the key to enjoying your food. When eating, really showing up. And one simple hack that virtually all cultures have is gratitude. Gratitude is a very simple way to switch from the stress response to the relaxation response. Why? Because you cannot be stressed and grateful at the same time. Try it. It's impossible. They're diametrically opposite. Stress and gratefulness cannot sit on the same chair at the same time. It's impossible. They are psychosomatically completely opposite experiences. So gratefulness is a very easy way to come into the relaxation response. Why does that matter? Okay. Imagine a gazelle that is being chased by a lion. This gazelle is moving really fast. The hind legs are being pawed by the lion. This is not the time for the gazelle to digest this food. This is not the time for the gazelle to do growth, repair, maintenance, or do any libido activity. This is not the time. The time for the gazelle to survive. If the gazelle survives, the gazelle can do all these things. Right? That's the stress response. The stress response is not the time to digest your food. Even if you have the best salad in the world, you're not digesting it properly. The how-to is 80% of it. So when you experience gratefulness before you eat, you immediately put the body into the relaxation response, and that's the condition where the nutrients, the actual pranic content, and the actual goodness is absorbed, or the rajas is absorbed into your body more fully. So it's a very simple thing. You can make a big ceremony out of it, and chanting and praying and different powers, but you can also do it in a very simple way. You have the food in front of you, and just take one deep breath. One breath. Inhaling, I see my food. Exhaling, thank you. Just one breath. Inhaling, I see my food. Attention. Exhaling, thank you, food. You experience the meaning behind the word. So inhale, actually seeing the all the lights, colors, shapes, textures, actually seeing it. Acknowledging all that it took for that food to be in front of you. All the countless people, resources, and aligning itself to create that food. Wow, that's food in front of you. It doesn't even have to be dramatic. It just means you're in the gratitude state. And Swami Sivananda, the great yoga master, said, food should always be consumed in a cheerful state. Every animal knows this. When an animal stands, it's not time to consume food. So consuming food in a cheerful temperament is very, very important. Not just consuming food, also preparing the food. Preparing the food in a cheerful way. No affiliation, I'm going to plug a restaurant in the West Island. There's an Indian restaurant called Bombay Chapati. You should go there just to feel the experience of cheerful cooking. They have mantras playing in the kitchen. The people are always smiling. The food is so delicious. The place is in the middle of nowhere. It's always packed. Zero marketing, zero advertising. Because people can feel the cheerfulness of the place. Genuine, authentic cheerfulness. So when you go to a restaurant, take a peek at the chef. Is the chef happy or grumpy? And the waiter, waitress, whoever it might be, make sure they're in a cheerful temperament. All that matters in the cheerful consumption of the food. This is the key of how we eat. Always in cheerful temperament, always from a place of relaxation. That makes sense to you? And when you tap into your body's wisdom, not just the taste, but also how is the food landing in my body? How is it impacting me? How does food make me feel tired, heavy, lethargic, dull, busy? How does food make me agitated, anxious? Food make me feel peaceful, calm, alert? What? The body will tell you. And you tap into the inherent wisdom and the uniqueness of your digestive system in your body. That's the best teacher. Right? So just notice how the food impacts you afterwards. Your body will tell you. 80% of it is right there. Cool? Yeah. So these are some insights around how to eat. I'm not sure how I'm doing for time. I'm just keep on talking. I'm doing all right. So we're going to land now with the final principle for today, which is meditation. I leave this to the end because this is the most important. This is the epicenter. Do you know it? Breathing, mindful relaxation, mindful exercise, mindful eating. Mindfulness is the foundation for everything you're sitting on. Meditation. Okay. I've been studying and teaching and exploring and practicing this for so long, over 2 decades. And one day, this image came to me in the shower. It was my eureka moment, this epiphany I had. Okay? And the epiphany looked like this. A wheel came to me. The principle of a mind wheel. So imagine that your mind, my mind, everybody's mind is a wheel. Some wheels are big, some are small, wheels, okay? Wheels, mind is a wheel. For this wheel to have forward momentum, this is a mind that is racing after the future. For this wheel to have backward momentum, this is a mind that is racing after the past. For this wheel to have upward momentum, that's the wheel in a condition called craving. Craving, I like it, I want to get more, so good. For the wheel to have a downward momentum, is the wheel of aversion. I don't want to support, sometimes I have it. So this is it. The mind wheel, and the mind rushes this way, is rolling, is chasing the future. Is going that way, is running after the past. Is going that way, I want to home. Going this way, I don't want to. That's what the mind is doing all the time. Let's give an example. So I often give training sessions in mind mastery courses with companies and so on. And I was in this glass tower building, very massive building downtown, on the top floor, and an executive training course on awareness and business excellence, something like this. So imagine these executives sitting with a mahogany table. All these people are very, very high impact people, high duress jobs. And I guide a very simple meditation practice with them. Summed up in 2 words: observe respiration. That's pretty much all I said. 10 minutes, just 2 words: observe respiration. Pretty much. 10 minutes later, a little check-in. How is it feeling? How is it feeling? And one gentleman said, Bhaskar, it's so calm, so peaceful, so relaxed. I didn't know that. It's such a busy day, so many deadlines, so many pressures. I have a country house in Sutton. So when I'm in nature in Sutton, I often feel this way. Because I don't think that's such a long time. I need to go back. I just want to know I'm really grateful for that practice. So I expressed to him with all my love and respect, what are you doing in your country house? I said nothing about a country house. All I said was observe respiration, but somehow he went to his country house. What happened there? We all have our version of a country house. Some mind wanders off. Observe respiration. The power of observe respiration. When you're observing respiration, you can only be in a present moment. Right? You cannot be yesterday or tomorrow. It's what in the Buddhist tradition is called right awareness. Awareness of what's actually happening right now. The breath can only ever happen right now, right? We're in the middle. When you're observing respiration, it's coming and going. There's no question of, I want more, I don't like it, I want more. No, just relax. So right away, get away from creating aversion in the middle of the wheel. It's a condition called equanimity, which means balanced mind. So by observing respiration, you right away come into a state of right awareness and equanimity. So this gentleman, for a brief moment, he experienced the middle of the wheel, awareness, equanimity. And right away, his mind went to a past pleasant memory. Oh, my country house is something so good, so nice. Then goes to past unpleasant. Oh no, this place is falling apart. It's shambles. Then it goes to future pleasant. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to get the hammer and I'm going to get the paint. And maybe future unpleasant. Ah, it's going to be expensive. I'm going to hurt myself. God, mind all over there. Right? The whole art and science is to be the right awareness as it is called. So this is one way to understand what meditation practice is. Like you go to a gym and you develop strength and stamina and so on. You do the practice to develop right awareness and insight. When I said right awareness, the practice we did this morning, the meditation, awareness of what's happening outside of you and awareness of what's happening inside of you. Objective reality, subjective reality. Maybe I can land with a story. I have a book called Wisdom Stories. You should watch some copies for it. But anyway, the story is in the book. The story goes like this. This story about a samurai. You know samurais? They're like Japanese warriors. These are not street fights. They are highly disciplined martial artists. Okay. So in ancient times, there's a little village in Japan. And in the village, there was a samurai master, like a real high-level samurai. And the master had the respect and reverence of the villagers, especially the farmers, because he was protecting the farmers from an evil, like tyrannical landlord who was trying to enslave the farmers. But he couldn't do it because of the samurai master. So this landlord was frustrated by this master and decided to kill the man. And he was successful. One evening, he managed to plant some poison in the samurai master's tea. The next morning, son died. And the landlord was elated. He was like, wow, this guy's gone. Now I can have my way with it. I can enslave these farmers. What the landlord did not realize is that the samurai master had a student, a young samurai warrior, who was also respected and growing in stature. He was very respected by the dojo, the community. You can say the force was strong in him. He was a student. As soon as the samurai warrior found out that the landlord killed his master, he went after the landlord and placed a duty, reverence, respect to his master. As soon as the landlord found out about this, as any sane person would, he took flight, he ran away. Right? And the story continued like this. Days turned to weeks, turned to months. Finally, 2 years later, the landlord was trapped. The landlord ran into a house. Samurai warrior followed. There's nowhere else to go. The landlord ran into a room. Samurai warrior followed. He's completely trapped. He goes to a corner of the room. He's cowering in the corner, waiting for the inevitable. The samurai warrior comes right up to the landlord, looks down at him, and starts to remove the sword from the sheath. As soon as it happened, the landlord looked up at the samurai warrior and spat at him. The samurai warrior looked back down at the landlord, put the sword back in the sheath, and walked out of the house. So the question, story, why did the samurai warrior walk out of the house? Come on, what's your best guess? How did the samurai warrior, after chasing this man for 2 years, finally had him cornered? He walked out. How would he do that? Karma. Yeah, as in the karma is done here. This man is already defeated like this. It's a very good guess. Yet, the oath is blood for blood. The oath, to be a samurai warrior, you take the blood for blood oath. He had to kill the man, blood for blood. But he still walked away. What's strange thing? Why did he walk away? All right, so left him in fear. This is a useless man into your face. You can no longer save the farmers. Let it go. Still, the oath of blood for blood. You have to do it. That's the oath of it. Good guess. All right, let's end the mystery. Rewind back to years. The instant he was convinced, he was sure the landlord killed his teacher, from a place of reverence, respect, and oath for the warrior, he went after the landlord. Fast forward 2 years. The instant the saliva landed on his body, he felt a movement of anger inside of him. And to kill this man from a place of anger would be a disrespect to his teacher. They went outside, took a few breaths, cooled off, came back, and then killed him. It's a brutal story. It's a brutal story, but the point of the story is very important. Most people, you kill my teacher, then you spit at me, well, I'll chop you to bits, right? You rush up to the head. These are street thugs. Samurai warriors are not street thugs. The ability to see even that. The difference between I am angry, there is anger. It's a very small changing word. It's a massive difference in experience. I am angry, subjective, hypnotized, captured, drawn in, sucked into a world full of drama. You're no longer there as a conscious being. The anger is coming. There is anger. That's just constant arising, subject to reality. You are still there with a conscious being with choice, no longer hypnotized by the anger. That is the skill you develop in meditation. The ability to see what's happening outside of you and what's happening inside of you. This is the meaning of integrity. You take the full number, whole number. Someone with integrity takes the whole into account. Not what's happening there, but what's happening in here. This is a complete game changer. That's why meditation is the white light of practices, right in the center. Cultivating the ability to see the constant arising, the subjective reality, with the wisdom is constant and impermanent. No anger lasts forever, the anxiety lasts forever, the depression lasts forever. There are some people who say, I've been depressed for many years. Something unpleasant happened in the past, or something pleasant did not happen in the past. Valid reasons. But they're not actually depressed. They are with the apparent source of depression, not the actual sensation of depression. The depression is not happening out there in the past, it's happening here now in the body. Someone said they're addicted to this thing. It's not happening there, it's happening in you. The sensation of addiction is inside, not outside. Another example, you're sitting there having a good time. Perfectly fine, perfectly calm, perfectly content. Somebody comes by and behaves disagreeably. Behaves disagreeably. This person has some serious issues. This is a bad person. 100% problem there, 0% here. Well, I was fine until this guy showed up. The problem is 100% there. It seems to be logical. Okay? Problem is there, not here. This person has some issues. I'm perfectly fine. As soon as you start to meditate, you become a little more different. Because this person behaves unwholesome way for whatever reason. But look at me. I'm also fighting back, getting angry and arguing, shouting and pretending, projecting negativity. If somebody comes with fire, it's supposed to put water, but instead of putting more fire, okay, fine. 50-50. Your fault, my fault, our fault. Diplomatic. And especially the practice more and more and more and more, make a very humble, undiplomatic discovery. 0% there, 100% there. Anger is 0% there. Light, color, shape, sound. It's what's happening inside of us that feels so terrible. There's so much to say about this, but the anger is not there, it's in here. Cultivating the ability to observe it. There's a beautiful poem by Jalal Rumi. should read it. It's called the guest house. Whenever these things come, this is like a guest house. There's a visitor in your guest house. There's anger, there's delight, there's shame, there's malice, there's love, there's hate. There's visitors coming. And the Muni says, treat these guests honorably. So when the guest comes, oh, why are you here? What message do you have for me? Because each guest has been sent as a messenger from beyond. A profound teaching that's going to guide us into our path of self-evolution, of self-transformation, and the highest version of our self-expression consciousness. So when these visitors come, they're actually a messenger of God. Yeah, I'm angry. So what need to be validated. And how they can start it. It's so beautiful. So I can go on like this, but I'll land for now. These are the 5 principles of optimum. We do this right, the rest is repeated. And the key is in cultivating a more practice. That's the ultimate. Everybody who is living in a most meaningful, fulfilling, delightful way, they have some kind of morning practice. There's research behind it. We call it prepping, some kind of morning practice. And the morning practice, ideally, should include movement, breath work, meditation. These 3 things, even if you have like half an hour, 10 minutes movement, 10 minutes breath work, 10 minutes meditation, good, you start something. So I'll land there by expressing whatever you found useful here, make you feel appreciative of it. The best way you can practice is to absorb and implement your life as a morning practice. That's the ultimate solution. Well, that's my case there. I'll take some questions, any questions, insights, jokes. Is that a couple of minutes maybe for anybody with any? Please go on. That's a very good question. Best time to do Shavasana? You can't go wrong with doing Shavasana at any time. Always the morning is the best. Why? Because you walk into your day in a relaxed state. So you benefit from the Shavasana practice throughout the day. You can also do Shavasana, any version of it, before moving into a big event. An event that you consider to be very important, Shavasana, so you show up fully alert and calm. It's also good after an intense event, you're all worked up and maybe excited or maybe angry, anxious, whatever it is, it's being to write down. It's also very good before going to bed, so you have a deep night's rest. You really can't go wrong with Shavasana until Shavasana becomes like a default setting. Sure, they're always in Shavasana, no matter what's happening. That's the body scan. That's the relaxation. So, Miranti, I'll share with you a little 10-minute audio. Maybe you can share it with where we have in the community. It's just a gift that people can use just to start the body scan by themselves. And then my intention here is not to give you a crutch. Don't depend on it. It's just to get the ball rolling. Then you can do it by yourself. You don't need implements. You can do it yourself. Anybody else? Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Cooking, this is what I mean. When somebody is cooking, make sure they're happy. If they're not happy, make them happy. So cooking in a cheerful temperament is so, so important. You can feel it in the food. If you're sensitive enough, you can feel now a cook that the food that's being cooked by somebody who's making so much money an hour, and a food that's been cooked by somebody who wants to delight you with their offering. It's a very different food. So how you cook is a big part. And also to cook in a cheerful temperament, not as a mechanical, moralistic thing. Cooking in a cheerful temperament. I take delight in this because I make my children, I teach children, I make their lunch. So my morning starts with this saver practice of making lunch for my children. It's actually wonderful, just preparing the food. So it's a wonderful way to know that I'm just preparing food, I'm nourishing what I'm giving. Yeah, so that's a great, yeah. I've been going there for over 20 years now, so I know this place very well. It's called Bombay Chapati. So make the effort to go. Again, no affiliation. Bombay, Choupathi. You can say Bhaskar sent me. But if you want to. But that's an example of people who are cooking cheerfully, presenting cheerfully, and you're also consuming cheerfully. And there's no grandioseness to it. There is not a supermodel smile. It's genuine, you know. It's coming from their heart. I can feel that. It's in the West Island. It's in the West Island. It's on the top of sources. I think it's technically in Pierpont. In Pierpont. It's you go on sources and you go past when? North into Europe. Yeah. Mm. Good. Very good observation. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, Buddha, Bodhi, they come from the same root word, Buddha. Buddha is one of the awakened ones. It's to awaken. It's a Sanskrit Pali word. So my intention with my company was to plant seeds of awakening in different organizations and cultural places. So that's why I called it Bodhi. Both the tree under which the Buddha became enlightened is called the Bodhi tree. And so the Bodhi seed is very symbolic. So the principle here is to plant the seeds of awakening and consciousness wherever we go. Maybe I can just land by saying this. There's never been a more important time for the wisdom of consciousness to shine. It's just, I was reflecting on this. If you go back 100 years or so, uh, let's say a king or a queen from 200 years ago came to your house right now. Some miraculously, they materialize in your home. You'd be shocked. You see your calm. They come into your house, it's warm. They see lights. They see hot water, cold water. They see comfortable bed and so forth. Oh my God, we are living so much better than we are living. No, we are living better than kings and queens just 100 years ago. They see this magical rectangular thing in your hand. What is this magic? Right? We are living so much better than just 200 years ago. Mainly because of the enhancement of technology. Right? So we're also much more capable now because of technology. Like our capacities have grown tremendously. You know, if somebody can start a company just by pressing some button on listing, literally, it's so powerful. Somebody can talk to millions of people by pressing some button on listing, so powerful. So I think there was a quote in Spider-Man. The quote goes, "With great power comes great responsibility." And we now have great power. So it's like we are now, before, people were holding like a wooden spoon in their hand, a wooden spoon. You know, you can hit somebody with it, but it can't do very much. But now we have samurai swords. Technology is very, very powerful. So wisdom is the hand that holds the sword. So that's the responsibility. We need to hold the sword responsibly. So there's never been a better time for us to be the wisdom bearers in society and to bring back the light of wisdom. Not our wisdom, not some prescribed wisdom, but allowing people to tap into their own inherent wisdom. They're all born with, they're all so wise. Inheriting the wisdom since the dawn of life itself. Right? So this is something I care very deeply about. The resurgence, the renaissance of wisdom in our life right now, but it's never been more important. It's no longer a luxury. It's an absolute essential necessity that we up-level our wisdom to match the power of technology that we have right now. So technology is neutral, but the samurai sword is neutral. The hand that holds determines whether it's helpful or harmful, whether it's utopic or diabolic. And the hand is wisdom. So thank you very much, Miranti, for continuing this Conscious Development Center in July.